Lighting the fuse again, and glad to have you back here on the conversation. My next guest has 1.1 million followers on Twitter, is one example, but says he's been stepped on by the censorship regime, which doesn't surprise me. I've been kicked around by that. He's a CEO, comedian, host, speaker, and author. Tim Young at Tim Runs His Mouth. Tim Young, welcome to the program.
What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm good. You know, my mother told me I was going to get in big trouble for running my mouth when I was a kid lots of times. By the way, she was right, but it also pays the bills now. I think your mother probably told you the same thing. Look, you're big reach, and I want to ask you about Elon Musk. Elon Musk changed the social media landscape completely when he bought Twitter. He was made fun of for spending $44 billion, but it's been transformative, hasn't it?
Yeah. Listen, I can actually make money on X now. I think that's pretty good. I think he's actually saved free speech. I mean, forget the free speech saving around the world. I make a couple of bucks a month now, and that's all I care about. But no, it has made a hell of a difference. Obviously, that's why the left hates him. That's why they want to eliminate him from society, because he is allowing people to become citizen journalists. He's allowing people like you and me to be able to broadcast on X so that we can get our message out. And conservatism has a chance. By the way, look at that number in the corner, Steve. I've like doubled your number up there in the corner this morning. You're welcome. Look at that. The ratings. Tim, through the roof once Tim comes on your show.
Maybe they knew because we were going to talk about circumcisions in Mozambique. Maybe they knew that, and they thought, hey, I want to get in on that. Look, I say that, Tim, because I cannot believe that our good friends on the left are screaming, oh, my God, Elon Musk, he's the devil, and it's a coup. And what's he trying to do? He's trying to get us not spend $10 million on circumcisions in Mozambique and transgender surgeries in Guatemala. I mean, how can you be against getting rid of this spending? What is wrong with our friends on the left? Is it a closed head, problem? What is the issue here?
They're getting kickbacks, man. I mean, that's obviously. I wouldn't doubt that most of the protesters are also funded through these programs like USAID. I'm waiting to see where the printer in DC is that's getting the millions of dollars to pre-print signs for protests. But this is all about kickbacks. It's the only reason you're upset about this stuff. It's your friends, it's your family. You know, when you have somebody like, who was it the other day that I saw was like worth $2 million? I think it was Bernie himself is not worth a whole pile of money. A lot of these guys are not worth a whole pile of money, but all their friends and family are. That's how the money goes around, and it's all their friends and family who are in these organizations that are getting millions upon millions of dollars. And it's not just Democrats too, man. It's both sides of the aisle. But the Republicans right now are justifiably shutting up and taking the lashing that they should be on the back end, not publicly. Because you know damn well that Lindsey Graham, who argues... Yeah, Lindsey Graham, who argues over and over again that we should be in fights and he's a war hawk, he's got somebody who's making that sweet defense contractor money.
Well, let's be honest. Lindsey Graham has never seen a check to Ukraine he didn't think was a good idea, right? So so then we learned from Zelensky finally, guys, I don't know where more than half the money is. No kidding. I, for one, am shocked, Tim. They don't know where all this money, billions of dollars, into Ukraine. I have some ideas. You might want to check the Biden bank accounts and a few others around Washington, right?
Well, there's a reason that Biden pardoned people in the Biden family that I had never heard of, right? Because we knew about his brother, we knew about his kids, and it's like, wait, who are these other people? They're just other random Bidens showing up. I think people may have changed their name to Biden because they were getting paid so well.
Exactly. So here's something else. I know you live in Texas, and you're a little scared today because it's cold there. This is why, by the way, the North won the war, because you guys are wimps. Doesn't matter. We'll talk about that another time. But look at what's happening at the housing market in D.C. I know you've seen this. Look, all of a sudden there's layoffs coming. You could buy a house in D.C. now cheap compared to what it's been for years. Pretty remarkable, huh?
Yeah, if you want to pay the income tax in D.C. too, that's like the highest basically in the country when you go anywhere. God, one of the reasons I loved coming back to Texas, was I had to pay that income tax in D.C., that city income tax, so those liberals can go paint Black Lives Matter in front of the White House and everything else they want to do. Look, you're going to pay one way or the other. If the housing prices look cheap, they're going to get you on the back end in D.C. or you'll just get robbed in the streets. And honestly, safety is another reason you don't want to live there.
Well, no, but the point is that they're fleeing. The rats are jumping ship. They're trying to get the hell out of there because they're
not getting their money.
Go ahead.
They're not getting their money anymore, Steve. But you know, like, also, and I think you're familiar with this, that I-270 corridor from Frederick, Maryland to Washington, D.C. has the highest per capita amount of PhDs in the country. And it's because all of these academics couldn't find a job anywhere else other than Washington, D.C., and they have sweet six-figure jobs. When you take a look at the average Average salary at the Department of Education, I believe, is $137,000 per person. These people are all in these fluff jobs that are in that area. And once that money gets dried up, which is what Trump and Elon are successfully doing, you can't pay those high mortgage rates anymore. So they are fire selling.
Well, man, they're in a panic because Barack Obama built this thing. They just didn't realize it. The United States Digital Service has been renamed DOGE, which means it's funded, it's lethal, and it's taken them out left and right, which is, I think, spectacular. What's the most important thing on the agenda for you looking forward in this new administration? We're only a month in. What do you still want to see, Tim?
Listen, I got nothing else I need to say. I mean, Kash Patel obviously is going to get confirmed today. All these confirmations need to go through. But man, like, he's far surpassed anything I could have ever imagined, and he's actually doing things as opposed to even let's compare him to 2016. This is a whole new Trump. That there's no brakes anymore. It's all gas, and I am for this. I just like waking up every morning and seeing what executive orders he's going to sign.
You know, I get up every morning just to watch him melt down on MSNBC. I just kind of like, what are they going to cry about today?
Yeah.
What a bunch of idiots.
It's crazy. It's so much fun, though, man.
It is so much fun. Tim Young, I'd like you to come back sometime. We can spend a little bit more time together. Maybe I'll record you in the afternoon so you don't have to get up so early. I know it's tough on you Texans. I get it. And I appreciate you being here. Tim, thank you for being here. Follow Tim. He's got 1.1 million followers for a reason. Follow him on X. I still call it Twitter.
You see that number, Steve? Look at those numbers, Steve, through the roof.
Well
you send
done.
that over to Rough Greens or whoever you're making money from, and you cash in for me.
I'm doing the best I can, my friend. Tim Young, CEO, comedian, host, speaker, author. Tim runs his mouth. You can find him right there, doubling my numbers. Well done. Hey, if you're doubling numbers, then follow me right here, because I love Tim. I'll say it whether it's true or not. Tim
you got to come on my show, too, by the way.
Anytime
Sorry,
you want me. Anytime. Anytime at all. All right, it's a deal. Go bundle up, my friend. All right, there it is. Tim Young, funny man. We'll take a break and be back. It's the Steve Gruber Show. Glad to have you here. Make sure you follow. Make sure you follow. Make sure you follow. I'll be back.